hosts, Frank Coto from Lincoln Lending Group, Ryan Pelky from TampaBay Plumbers, and Doug Ford with Suncoast Roofing Solutions on 970 WFLA. These three business owners will teach you how to work to live it up, not live to work. Now sit back, grab a cold one if you have one, and get ready for some serious business talk with three hilariously serious business owners. Now, your host of the Business Happy Hour, Frank Coto.
Hello, Tampa Bay. This is Ryan Pelky here. I'm with the Business Happy Hour. I got my show partner, Doug Ford, in the house today. Doug, how you doing?
How's it going, Frank?
I'm just such a much better looking Frank, you know. And certainly more intelligent, but not nearly as funny. So I hope everyone can engage in this conversation for the next hour. So it's 12:30 if you're streaming us live on Facebook or YouTube. And it is 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Some people might be out there picking up garbage from the old Gasparilla Festival.
They're going to be super hungover.
You're either hungover, picking up garbage, going fishing. I don't know what you're doing listening to us right now, but we're happy to have you. This is a crazy weekend here in Tampa with the NHL All-Star
NHL
game.
All-Stars, yep. And then Gasparilla. There's going to be a lot of people in Tampa Bay this weekend.
Yeah, I saw some figures. 300,000 people is the average, to actually go to the main parade, which is an incredible amount of people just for that one little part of Tampa and Bayshore. That's just an unbelievable amount of people. But that number can go up or down widely depending on the weather.
The weather, yeah. It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend, though. Or it was a beautiful,
yeah,
the
so
weather.
I guess we'll find out. But, yeah, it's a little windy today. I wonder if it's going to be windy this weekend. Hopefully not. But I mean,
it's a little chilly this morning. So.
Yeah. But, no, it should be a really huge weekend here. Downtown Tampa is going to be absolutely insane. So you got the Gasparilla Parade starting in the morning about what, 10 o'clock? Is that what time it starts typically?
So
what
when
time
we
does it start, Gary?
About that, yeah.
We would always pregame like 7:30, 8 o'clock with our crew, and then we'd make our way down to our float around 10. I think the parade starts around noon, 1 o'clock.
Okay, and so the parade will go on for a few hours.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock it starts, Verlander? Okay, so 2 o'clock it starts, and then you got the All-Star game, what, at 8?
I have no idea, but the All-Star game's right after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
going to be... Don't be in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, do not try to drive down to anywhere near... Oh, my God, Kid Rock's performing at the at halftime. That's cool. So, yeah, lots of good stuff happening here this weekend, and the economic impact is huge for Tampa.
Yeah, did you look up to it? Was like $22 million the last All-Star game in L.A.?
Yeah, the last one was about $22 million. They average anywhere between $20 and $30 million per All-Star game, which is actually lower than some of the other sports. Like the NBA's actually has a bigger economic impact.
Really?
MLB, much bigger. MLB is like $150 million.
Well, I think it's because the MLB is how many games. Right.
Well, I mean, but there's only one All-Star game, right?
Correct.
Or is there...
No, it's only one All-Star game, but I think there's some stuff going on today.
You know, the Home Run Derby always, that's a huge event for the All-Star game, though, too.
Yeah.
And I know they do the slam dunk competition in the NBA, so I don't really think they don't really have anything like that.
They have for, I think today they had the skills challenge, and they have a couple of things going on today before the game tomorrow.
Yeah, so really, though, between the two events, there's about $40 to $50 million of economic impact that should happen in the Tampa area this weekend. So there's 1 million people that are going to attend some kind of a Gasparilla event over the next couple days. I mean, that's crazy. So This is a huge deal in Tampa. I used to live in a condo on Bay and Bayshore, actually, which is, if you're not familiar with that part of Bayshore, it's right next to the Bank of Tampa.
Yep.
Right there, primo spot. I was on the third floor facing the water, and this was it was in the Christiansted condos. So if anyone's listening, you know where the Christiansted condos is. I was on the third floor. It was probably about 10 years ago now, maybe 9 years ago. And I remember seeing the craziest things. I mean, guys drinking, literally would pass out stone cold right on the grass, have to be drugged by their friends. And I remember seeing guys picking up other guys, and they're trying to carry their friends out of the way of harm, and they're dropping them on the ground. I mean, just the mayhem in Gasparilla is out of control.
Yeah, the day parade is it's calmed down quite a bit. The night parade is kind of where it gets crazy.
Really? See, I haven't really since I lived down there. I haven't even bothered to go down there. So I can't comment on any of that. But yeah, big weekend here in Tampa Bay. I'm going to try to get on down there for that All-Star game. I want to take my wife and get down there. So
Good luck getting tickets.
yeah, well, I don't need luck. I just need cash. So I'll stop at the ATM along the way and see what's happening. But so lots going on here in the world. We've had Donald Trump, our president, in Davos, Switzerland. And I was a little surprised by when we did our production meeting. You were saying that some of the news reports were saying that he was getting booed over there.
All the news reports.
Well,
not
that's
some.
Complete false. From what I've seen, it's the exact opposite. He's been treated like a rock star over there. Had the best reception of any president in United States history. Like they played trumpets, standing ovations. So I don't know where are you getting this stuff from?
I mean, just all over. So I have a app I use called Flipboard, and it's basically every news source you can think of.
What do you think of Flipboard, Gary?
It's not CNN.
It's not.
So this one I'm looking at right now. This one is NBC. This one is Fox. This one is CNN. Like just every different news sources.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's not Rachel Maddow running the switchboard.
No.
Okay, got it.
Close.
All right, well, listen, so yesterday I listened to a live, basically it was a roundtable discussion yesterday with 15 of the largest corporations in the world. Their CEOs were all invited to this luncheon. It was like a work and luncheon meeting. And Trump's running the meeting. And, like I said, there's 15 and I'm talking like Siemens, the biggest corporations in the entire world were all there, and they were all thanking him, praising him. They were all,
Well, the biggest thing now is because all those big corporations are the one getting the tax cut. It's not us little guys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're seeing now that all these corporations are coming out and giving their own bonuses, and I mean, it's great. I mean, it's a good thing for the economy, hopefully, but.
Yeah, I mean, how many millions? The last I saw, there was as far as just the publicly traded corporations. Well over 3 million people have got at least $1,000 raise or bonus, whatever you want to call it.
I heard between 1,000 and 2,500.
Right. Apple's did 2,500 stock award, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they announced a $350 billion investment in the United States over the next 5-10 years.
We'll see.
That's just one company.
We'll see.
I mean, that's an unbelievable number. Not to mention they're repatriating.
And isn't Amazon switching? They're in the middle of looking for new headquarters.
Yeah, I think they've got it down to 20 cities now, and now they're saying, all right, now we're going dark. Now we're not publicly announcing any more stuff about the H2 headquarters. So Apple's also building a new, second headquarters. They're just finishing their flagship new headquarters, that $5 billion spaceship looking structure that they have over there in California. But apparently they're going to be building another one. I don't know where. I think they're talking Texas, or maybe they'll come to Tampa. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think we're in the running for the Amazon headquarters.
No, we're not even mentioned.
Those Miami was one.
I think they wanted at least 1 million people in the actual city, like actual downtown, like city proper. We're not even close to that. We have 1 million people in Hillsborough County, over 1 million.
Correct.
But it's spread out, amongst Hillsborough County is a pretty massive county.
Hillsborough is huge. It goes all the way from a little bit past me in Odessa, all the way down to Apollo Beach.
Exactly. Sun City's way down there, way east. Is Plant City's even in Hillsborough, isn't it?
Plant City is Hillsborough.
The Nonasassa.
Yep.
Is Wesley Chapel in Hillsborough?
Wesley Chapel, no.
No, that's Pasco.
That's Pasco. Yeah, because I live in Odessa.
You're a Pasco guy, right?
I live
Wesley
in
Chapel, Dade City, that's all Pasco.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am in Odessa, but they call mine's Hillsborough, Odessa. And then I think once Hillsborough goes all the way up to right before 54,
right,
and then it turns into Pasco, Odessa.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm in Odessa also, and I know we're definitely.
Yeah, I think it's Lutz Lake Fern is around the cutoff where it turns from Hillsborough to Pasco.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was all the way up to 54. That's pretty close anyway. But bottom line is there's all kinds of amazing stuff happening right now in the economy, and the global economy is benefiting from the U.S. economy.
Yes.
And so these corporations are over here with this roundtable discussion, just praising Donald Trump and the tax cuts and the deregulation big time too. They all mentioned a little bit about that. So I'm kind of shocked that these reports are coming in.
Yeah, we'll see if I can find one.
Yeah, I mean, please, I'd love to hear it. Like, what? Because on Fox and we were just listening to Rush. Rush was saying the same thing, that things are he was literally treated like a rock star over there. So I don't know, but lots of stuff going on. We just had a government shutdown. Thankfully, it only lasted 3 days.
No? Oh, I mean, I don't really count the weekend as days, even though they did. It was really one day.
Yeah, I mean, it was really...
And the crazy thing is my wife went to work. She had to get all this paperwork out. And then, like, that afternoon, okay, we're back on.
Yeah, so thank God that's the way it went down. And sadly, it was all over illegal immigration, or illegal immigrants, DACA.
Yeah, that's what they say.
So Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi... basically shut down the government for 700,000 illegal immigrants and got nothing for it. I mean, we have a country of 330 plus million people here, and we're going to shut down the government over 700,000 illegal immigrants, not pay our military. I mean, is that right?
I wonder how many really illegal immigrants are in our country.
I saw estimates around 13 million. So
yeah, and I take a different stance on immigration only because I feel like we're all immigrants in this country.
Yeah.
And it's just sad that we're having such issues with it. Every president prior to Trump has just let it slide. Now all of a sudden it's becoming a big problem, and people are scared to even live in our country right now.
Well, Trump's facing it head on. He's facing it head on. Basically,
10 seconds.
Oh, is that all we got? All right. Well, hey, this is Ryan with the Business Happy Hour. We're going to be back in just a few minutes. We'll talk a lot more about the government shutdown and DACA.
Hi, I'm Ryan with TampaBay Plumbers. Thank you for choosing us for all of your plumbing, septic, and water treatment needs. What makes us different at TampaBay Plumbers is that we're a local full-service plumbing contractor that can handle any project, large or small, including curtain-place pipelining, septic installations, and various water treatment products. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or 24/7 by phone at 813-PLUMBER. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you. This is Ryan with TampaBay Plumbers. At some point, we've all had to have a drain line snaked out. This typically involves running a steel cable through the drain line in an effort to clear a blockage. This often leaves a film of scale or buildup on the inside of the pipe with a hole in the middle. The only way to properly descale a drain line is to perform a hydrojet service. We use equipment that essentially pressure washes the inside of the pipe, leaving your drain lines free and clear. The two symptoms of a sewer backup are foul odors and slow-moving drains. If you are experiencing either of these, contact us at tampaplumber.net or 813-PLUMBER. My name is Ryan, and I'm the production manager for TampaBay Plumbers, your one-stop shop for all of your plumbing and septic needs. We pride ourselves on building the reputation as the best plumbing and septic company in the Tampa Bay area. But don't take it from me. Look us up on Google and you will see that we have a 4.8 star rating with over 100 reviews. We also have multiple awards and recognition from multiple online review sites such as Angie's List, Yelp, and Facebook. We do everything plumbing and septic, from residential to commercial, new construction to service. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER. I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. As a plumbing and septic company with over 100 years of combined experience, we know how frustrating a sewer backup can be. That is why we pride ourselves on being able to identify the cause of a problem before a backup ever happens. One of the tools we use to identify a problem in the sewer system is a video inspection camera. This camera runs through the drain line and is able to identify and locate any problems in the sewer system on a live feed. We then take that information from the live feed and are able to provide a recommendation on how to best fix the problem, oftentimes without the use of any excavation. If you are experiencing any problems with your sewer system, you can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER.
Hi, I'm Ryan with TampaBay Plumbers, and welcome to our website. So what's different about TampaBay Plumbers? Everything is different about us. Our company does literally everything that involves plumbing, water, drainage, sewer, septic. We handle it from A to Z, which is completely different than just about every company in town. If you call a plumber, they don't do septic necessarily. Definitely if you call a septic contractor, they don't do plumbing. In addition to doing a very wide scope of services, we do them extremely well. And the reason why is our process and our people. We have spent many years perfecting our craft, and we've also spent many years finding the best people to operate our system. And we have by far the best plumbers in town. I will put my guys up against any companies, anywhere, anytime, any place. And that's just evidence in the type of quality work that we put out. Go online, look at our reviews on Google, look at our reviews on Angie's List. No one else is as highly rated as us unless they're putting bogus reviews up. But our company takes a lot of pride in what we do on a daily basis, and we hope that you give us a chance. Again, I'm Ryan with TampaBay Plumbers. Thanks a lot for visiting our site.
You have been listening to the Business Happy Hour with Frank Coto, Ryan Pelky, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back, Tampa Bay. This is Ryan Pelky and Doug Ford here at the Business Happy Hour. We are getting right back into the DACA illegal immigration situation, government shutdown. Luckily it only happened for 3 days if you include Saturday, Sunday, and then they got it sorted out on Monday. So it's not nearly going to have as big of an
I don't think it's
economic
sorted
impact.
out. I think they delayed it till the first week in February.
Yeah, so the clock's ticking.
Yes.
They've got a loaded gun staring them down. They really need to stop passing or even going for these CRs.
Yeah, the continuing resolutions.
Pass a real budget, for God's sakes. I mean, come on.
We haven't had a real budget since Clinton.
No, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. And so Trump, he's got the situation now. I think he's scared enough Republicans and enough Democrats to actually believe that he's willing to deport everyone. And therefore, there's going to be a deal on immigration. You watch. And I mean, the last time we had real immigration reform, which is nowhere near as substantial as what Trump wants to put together, because he wants to end chain migration. He wants to end the visa lottery program. He wants to build the wall. And he wants to give the DACA kids a pathway to citizenship, which I think it's important because there's a lot of uproar right now about what he was saying the other day, how Trump was basically saying did you hear how he was saying, 10 to 12 years, the DACA kids can become citizens. Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. So I know there was a lot of Democrats and even some Republicans that were, upset about that. And I feel completely different about that because I know people that are trying to become citizens right now, and they have been for years. Yeah,
it's a very long process, and I think now with everything going on, it's a very hard process.
Very hard, very expensive. You have to hire lawyers, right?
Yep.
And then once you get through this multi-year process, then you have to leave the country and go back to your country of origin, and then come back in legally.
See, the thing is, and we talked about production, is that our whole entire country is full of immigrants. Mm-hmm. Meaning like everyone is essentially immigrants. The only people that are really born here were American Indians. So, right. I mean, it almost needs the only way it makes sense for me is I get the wall, but make everyone that's here legal, figure out a path for them, whether they, it's a slap on the wrist or a fine or something, make them all register and go through a background check. If you're a criminal, I'm sorry, you don't get citizenship. If you're a law-abiding citizen and you contribute to society and you're paying taxes, make them legal. I mean, obviously our country there's so many jobs that Americans do not want.
No, I agree completely. I think though with that we have to majorly step up our border security because we can't just keep allowing unlimited people in. I think what I've heard a lot of quote unquote professionals say is that if you give amnesty to a huge chunk of people, you're going to encourage a new wave of undocumented immigrants sneaking across the border.
No, I agree. So, I mean, I don't disagree with the wall. You know, whether it's a wall or it's just, more security, whatever it is.
I think it's got to be both.
Yeah, I mean, but there's places you can't build walls. You know what I mean? So It's got to be both. It can't just be a physical wall.
But you figure the drones, boots on the ground, a border wall. We need to employ all the technology that we possibly can put at this.
Yeah, I mean, we have people that are, technology obviously has made a big impact on things, but you have, people that are coming back from wars that have nothing to do. I mean, make them border patrol.
Yeah, I mean, we're having my God, we can't find border patrol agents,
Correct.
Yeah, we're losing them to it's basically attrition is taking away more we can't replace the border patrol agents fast as we're losing them.
Correct.
Do you know why? Hiring standards.
Yeah.
Hiring standards are not what you would have for a police officer as a border patrol agent. I have a friend who works for ICE. He has a 4-year degree, and he has his police academy, and he speaks a second language. If you were to be just a regular police officer and say we're going to work for Largo Police Department, all you do is got to go through the police academy, maybe have a 2-year degree, but there you have to have a 4-year degree. And one of the things I think
a border patrol has to have a 4-year degree.
Yes.
Maybe they should flex on that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so now you have guys that are going, and if I have a 4-year degree, I'm going to go work for the city of Tampa, where I'm going to make $58,000 a year starting out, as opposed to making $35,000. Why would I not? Or go work
Border patrol agents start out at 35 G's?
Around about 35, depending on where you're at.
Sounds like state troopers. They're pretty low on the totem pole.
I mean, come on. How could you expect not to have a hiring problem if that's the case?
It's kind of like teachers.
I mean, and
they got to look that up. I don't believe that. I don't believe the starting wage can be.
Yeah, it's bad. Border Patrol's bad.
All right, I want to find an actual.
And then
number.
think about where you're working at too. Your working environment. Okay, it's not like you're working in a jail. Working in jail is pretty cool. You're not getting rained on. You might got a little stabby maybe, but other than that. But like you're in a border patrol, you're out by yourself. It's like that movie with Chuck Norris, along with McQuaid. I think that's what it was.
I mean, that's where technology comes in. Like drones are perfect for that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like drones and everything. It's just it makes you have to have somebody to man the drone, obviously. But I mean, you could literally have hundreds of drones on the border and
exactly
know exactly what's going on at all times.
I mean, these things that are equipped with night vision cameras, thermal imaging cameras. I mean, it would be a no-brainer to have 1,000 of those things flying along the border. And I have seen some issues, like with some, there's a lot of lawsuits coming down the pipe right now from environmental groups all over the country about the border wall in preparation for the border wall. And a lot of it's legit. I mean, I listened to some folks yesterday on, I think it was Fox News, I was listening to them, and they were saying that certain parts in Texas, there's national, like wildlife reserves, and these areas are prone to flooding. And so if you put a wall up, you're going to have flooding on one or other side of the wall. All these animals are going to die. And so you're going to have other animals that their food sources aren't going to be there. I mean, it really would be a disaster.
$49,000 a year as a Border Patrol officer.
$49,000. Yeah, that's not very enticing.
No,
it's more like,
it's not you every time you run.
It's not terrible pay though. I mean, if you're living in Texas and
I'm sure that's starting, right?
Starting.
It's almost $950 a week.
Plus, you're a federal employee at that point. You get the pension.
You get federal pension.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get like a congressman. You do one term and you get your pension the rest of your life and health care. I'm just saying. We've talked to congresswomen. They've been in here. They've told us how it really is, and that's one of the things.
Speaking of that, an interesting little caveat there is they get paid during the government shutdown.
Yes.
Right? Yes,
Congress does.
All right, so we got 20 seconds left. We're going to get back into this immigration stuff here. I've got a couple things I wanted to say about it. We need merit-based. We need the welfare state is an issue. So we're going to get into the welfare state and the differences between 200 years ago and today. More from the Business Happy Hour.
Hi, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. Thank you for choosing us for all of your plumbing, septic, and water treatment needs. What makes us different at Tampa Bay Plumbers is that we're a local full-service plumbing contractor that can handle any project large or small, including cured-in-place pipelining, septic installations, and various water treatment products. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or 24/7 by phone at 813-PLUMBER. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you. This is Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. At some point, we've all had to have a drain line snaked out. This typically involves running a steel cable through the drain line in an effort to clear a blockage. This often leaves a film of scale or buildup on the inside of the pipe with a hole in the middle. The only way to properly descale a drain line is to perform a hydrojet service. We use equipment that essentially pressure washes the inside of the pipe, leaving your drain lines free and clear. The two symptoms of a sewer backup are foul odors and slow-moving drains. If you are experiencing either of these, contact us at tampaplumber.net or 813-PLUMBER. My name is Ryan, and I am the production manager for Tampa Bay Plumbers, your one-stop shop for all of your plumbing and septic needs. We pride ourselves on building the reputation as the best plumbing and septic company in the Tampa Bay area. But don't take it from me. Look us up on Google and you will see that we have a 4.8 star rating with over 100 reviews. We also have multiple awards and recognition from multiple online review sites such as Angie's List, Yelp, and Facebook. We do everything plumbing and septic, from residential to commercial, new construction to service. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER. I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. As a plumbing and septic company with over 100 years of combined experience, we know how frustrating a sewer backup can be. That is why we pride ourselves on being able to identify the cause of a problem before a backup ever happens. One of the tools we use to identify a problem in the sewer system is a video inspection camera. This camera runs through the drain line and is able to identify and locate any problems in the sewer system on a live feed. We then take that information from the live feed and are able to provide a recommendation on how to best fix the problem, oftentimes without the use of any excavation. If you are experiencing any problems with your sewer system, you can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER.
Hi, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers, and welcome to our website. So what's different about Tampa Bay Plumbers? Everything is different about us. Our company does literally everything that involves plumbing, water, drainage, sewer, septic. We handle it from A to Z, which is completely different than just about every company in town. If you call a plumber, they don't do septic necessarily. Definitely if you call a septic contractor, they don't do plumbing. In addition to doing a very wide scope of services, we do them extremely well. And the reason why is our process and our people. We have spent many years perfecting our craft, and we've also spent many years finding the best people to operate our system. And we have by far the best plumbers in town. I will put my guys up against any companies, anywhere, anytime, any place. And that's just evidence in the type of quality work that we put out. Go online, look at our reviews on Google, look at our reviews on Angie's List. No one else is as highly rated as us unless they're putting bogus reviews up. But our company takes a lot of pride in what we do on a daily basis, and we hope that you give us a chance. Again, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. Thanks a lot for visiting our site.
You have been listening to the Business Happy Hour with Frank Coto, Ryan Pelky, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
All right, we're back here at the Business Happy Hour, and we're going to wrap up this immigration conversation. I don't think it's anything that we really want to talk about, but it's kind of something we have to. So my big point is 250 years ago, you know, there were no, we didn't have a welfare state like we have today. So people that came here purely because they wanted to have an opportunity to become successful that they didn't have in their home country. Now, don't you think that there's a possibility that people could come here because they want to get a check?
It's possible.
I mean, what do you think about that, Gary?
I mean, so what?
That's
what
the
other,
biggest
what
difference
other
that I see
countries?
to me.
What other countries have the type of welfare system that we have?
Well, I know a lot of the Europeans have big welfare states.
So why would they not?
Yeah, and then you have healthcare wise in Canada. But like in Mexico, though, if you need something from a pharmacy, you go down to the pharmacy and you get it. It's not like you need to go see a doctor.
Right. Well, I see it's. I think technically you're not supposed to be able to get federal aid if you're an undocumented immigrant, but there are estimates that show up to $113 billion annually goes to undocumented people.
Okay, so this is the thing. So you have an undocumented person who goes into a hospital, they complain of chest pain. That hospital is going to be scared to get sued, so they perform all the necessary whatever on that person.
That's a really good point.
Then that person doesn't pay the bill. That hospital now has to pay their people, has to pay the GE, whatever. So how do they do that? They go to the government and say, listen, we had this guy, he was undocumented and paid a bill. They get reimbursed.
And then we wonder why our medical bills are so high.
So what about what about
really
the school systems? I mean, are their kids going to our schools for free?
Yeah, absolutely. But
you know the story? Did I tell you guys about Lacucci Elementary up in Pasco County? There is a government housing subdivision that sits behind the school. ICE went in there and took everybody out that was undocumented. The school lost 250 plus students.
Oof.
So that means when the funds came back to them students, you still had students in classes, but you didn't have those 250 plus. They then lost funding, which then ended up giving that school an F grade. Everybody in the entire school got fired.
My God.
Down to the janitors. They had to reapply for their jobs, and teachers were just quit teaching.
So how could they get an F if they took out the undocumented? Wouldn't you think that their grades would go way up?
No, you go by law of averages. Law of averages made it go down.
Huh. I would think the exact opposite. But regardless, I mean, the point is that 250 years ago, when you came to this country, you weren't coming here because you were going to get free education.
No.
You weren't coming here because you were going to get a free meal. I mean, you either worked and you made it, or you died, or you went back home, right? I mean, that was the difference. So I don't see a rational argument coming from the left when they say, we're all a country of immigrants. Well, yeah, we are.
Well,
but there's a big difference between today's immigrants and 250 years ago. I mean, let's face it.
250 years ago, you didn't have a skill set like you can or learning capabilities that you do now. So you come in as an immigrant, or you come in as somebody that's a worker.
Okay, let's just back up for a second. What happens if all the illegal immigrants left this country?
We'd be in a world of hurt.
Well, yeah,
we would our economy would fail, and our dollar would dive, and we would be in the worst recession that we would ever know.
Doug, I am definitely not saying we should, kick everyone, go and round them up and get rid of them.
But that's what scares people, is because that's the way Trump talks. That's kind of what is going on. Like they had this bus that was raided and they asked for papers. I mean,
have you ever read the Art of the Deal? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is all the art of the deal.
Oh, I know.
Trump is going to force their hand.
I get it, but that's what people don't like about it.
Obama couldn't do immigration reform. Bush couldn't do it.
And that's the biggest problem, is you have presidents of our past, 20, 30 years, have just literally been kicking this can down the street and doing nothing with it.
We have not had a president with balls big enough to actually put it out there and say, hey, if you guys don't get with this, we're gonna be getting these folks out of here. Plain and simple.
But one of the things that needs to happen, though, is I think Doug had a good point. Why don't you just make them pay to stay?
Exactly.
A pay to stay plan would work. It would improve the financial standpoint of America, because now we'd have to be able to pay for debt or pay for processing or whatever. If you've ever traveled and you've had to go pay for a visa, I pay for, I want to go to Mexico.
Now just think about this. You said there's 13 million undocumented workers.
$10,000 each.
Well, I mean, whatever. Make it 5. Well, what's 5,000 times 13 million?
5,000 times 13 million. Well,
what Bitcoin was about 6 months ago, but now, or 6 weeks ago,
1,000 times 13 million is 13 billion. So it'd be 80 whatever.
That's a pretty good chunk of change.
Yeah. So I mean,
So that's just one thing. Then number two is now they're going to be, I'm sure half illegal immigrants are getting paid under the table. Then half of them are paying taxes. So now all of a sudden you're gaining all this tax revenue that's coming from illegal immigrants. They're now having jobs that pay taxes.
I would be all for it, but I would say this would be one of my caveats. You cannot vote for at least 15 to 20 years.
No.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Because otherwise,
do you think? And that is a discussion people have. Yeah. They say Democrats are trying to make it so that's their voting.
Do you really think these people come over here to vote? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
No, but the Democrats want them to come over so they'll vote.
I'm across the desert. I'm going to go through this river. I'm going to jump on the back of this area.
What it is it's basically holding the Democrats' feet to the fire. Basically saying, okay, you want to take care of these folks? You want to have them be citizens? Then they can't vote. Because now really, where are you at? Where do you really just want these people to be able to vote? I know they don't care about voting, but I mean, obviously the Democrats do, clearly.
I mean, that's the argument.
So, all right, enough of this DACA. I mean, we're going to find out what happens here. This is all coming to a head within the next 30 days, right?
I had the best question.
If he doesn't get impeached before then.
Yeah, right.
I was in a restaurant yesterday for lunch, and the guy comes to me and goes, "Hey." He goes, if you had $2 million, where would you buy a house in this area? And it came up. It was very interesting, and they're thinking of it, and it has to do with transportation in this area and why we don't have a high-speed rail or metro or anything else. And he said, I would probably buy a house near Tia Verde because it puts me next to the water, but puts me next to 275. And I thought that's very interesting, but if we're going to build a baseball stadium, if they want to build a baseball stadium over here, do you think they're going to expand rail?
Yeah, I don't understand why we didn't go down that path. I thought the high-speed rail was a genius idea for our economy in Florida. If you have a high-speed rail from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa to Miami, it almost makes jobs. I mean, I think that not only does it create jobs, but it creates companies wanting to come here because there's such a vast
well, it would be cool too. I mean, I'm going to my wife and I we're going on a cruise out of Miami soon, and I would much rather just hop on a train, go 150 miles an hour down to Miami, be able to have some cocktails along the way, and get there in 45 minutes to an hour or whatever it's going to take, and hop off the train, get on the cruise, go to the cruise terminal and be on our way.
Yeah, I don't know whatever. I know it was. They started that before the economy kind of went down. So I wonder where the talks are about it now.
Yeah, I just think the cost is so overwhelmingly huge.
I don't think we need to build a bullet train like they're trying to build out in California, where it's wiping out the economy. But I think some type of mass transit would help of some sort. I mean,
that's the one thing Florida doesn't have.
How can they do it in Europe, but we can't seem to do it over here? What's the difference?
They do it in Miami.
I think the biggest thing in Florida is like in D.C., Chicago, they have underground. Right. Well, we can't do that in Florida.
No.
So, I mean, I think that's a big problem. I think if we had underground, I think it had already been done already.
But in Europe, they're all elevated track, aren't they?
I don't think so. I think
they're in Chicago. I mean, you can do it. I don't know if you guys remember when they were building the Selman Expressway, the expressway part, the new part.
When it sank?
And it sank. Okay, there you go.
Yes, I remember that very, very well, actually.
Do you remember that? So, that's, I think they've come up with building principles that are totally different where they could do it.
Yeah, that's true. We have a much different, we have a limestone, porous limestone base, here. It's not granite. It's not bedrock down there, So I guess that probably has a big factor in it. But yeah, I remember those sections just sinking down. That was crazy.
Yeah, Pasco County has a bus system. The reason why I brought this up, Pasco has a bus system. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it doesn't go to the college. Why would you have a bus system? It doesn't go to St. Leo. It goes to Pasco Hernando, but it don't go to St. Leo.
I had an employee that did the bus system, and it took them ungodly amounts of time to get like 20 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, like 2.5 hours. It was something stupid. And I mean, our public transit in Tampa is awful.
It's a disaster. It's not for the people that have any options.
No,
basically.
it is. It's terrible.
And if you want to see something entertaining, go around the first of the month.
I mean, yeah. Like growing up in D.C., I probably never needed a car. I lived in Bethesda, and I could have literally taken underground metro, the buses. I mean, and they're all running all the time, and we just don't have that.
No.
I mean, and I think that hurts our economy.
So what? Let's get into the possibly, and I don't know if Fox News is building this up bigger than it really is, but we could have like the biggest scandal in the history of our government unfolding right before our eyes right now with the FBI, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, secret societies. I mean, have you heard about this stuff?
I have, but I always take it with a grain of salt when I watch it on Fox and on CNN.
Hannity is a bit over the top.
MSNBC, they're all just...
Hannity's definitely a bit over the top.
I try not to watch the news.
We got a minute left here, but I do want to kind of set this up for the next segment. I mean, what is going on here? You got these very high-level FBI agents that I can't believe that they would be acting unilaterally. Like they didn't hatch this plan to create a secret society and have, an insurance policy in case Trump was going to win. I mean, doesn't something like that have to come from up? I mean, so where did it come from? Loretta Lynch? No, I mean, I think it must have come from Obama. I mean, if it happened, if this is actually going to come out to be true. So we got 10 seconds left. I want everyone to chew on this for a minute. When we come back, we're gonna kind of dive into this one a little bit here. So more to come from the Business Happy Hour with Doug and Ryan. See ya.
Hi, I'm Ryan with TampaBay Plumbers. Thank you for choosing us for all of your plumbing, septic, and water treatment needs. What makes us different at TampaBay Plumbers is that we're a local full-service plumbing contractor that can handle any project, large or small, including cured-in-place pipelining, septic installations, and various water treatment products. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or 24/7 by phone at 813-PLUMBER. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you. This is Ryan with TampaBay Plumbers. At some point, we've all had to have a drain line snaked out. This typically involves running a steel cable through the drain line in an effort to clear a blockage. This often leaves a film of scale or buildup on the inside of the pipe with a hole in the middle. The only way to properly descale a drain line is to perform a hydrojet service. We use equipment that essentially pressure washes the inside of the pipe, leaving your drain lines free and clear. The two symptoms of a sewer backup are foul odors and slow-moving drains. If you are experiencing either of these, contact us at tampaplumber.net or 813-PLUMBER. My name is Ryan, and I am the production manager for TampaBay Plumbers, your one-stop shop for all of your plumbing and septic needs. We pride ourselves on building the reputation as the best plumbing and septic company in the Tampa Bay area. But don't take it from me. Look us up on Google and you will see that we have a 4.8 star rating with over 100 reviews. We also have multiple awards and recognition from multiple online review sites such as Angie's List, Yelp, and Facebook. We do everything plumbing and septic, from residential to commercial, new construction to service. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER. I'm Ryan with TampaBay Plumbers. As a plumbing and septic company with over 100 years of combined experience, we know how frustrating a sewer backup can be. That is why we pride ourselves on being able to identify the cause of a problem before a backup ever happens. One of the tools we use to identify a problem in the sewer system is a video inspection camera. This camera runs through the drain line and is able to identify and locate any problems in the sewer system on a live feed. We then take that information from the live feed and are able to provide a recommendation on how to best fix the problem, oftentimes without the use of any excavation. If you are experiencing any problems with your sewer system, you can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER.
Hi, I'm Ryan with TampaBay Plumbers, and welcome to our website. So what's different about TampaBay Plumbers? Everything is is different about us. Our company does literally everything that involves plumbing, water, drainage, sewer, septic. We handle it from A to Z, which is completely different than just about every company in town. If you call a plumber, they don't do septic necessarily. Definitely if you call a septic contractor, they don't do plumbing. In addition to doing a very wide scope of services, we do them extremely well. And the reason why is our process and our people. We have spent many years perfecting our craft, and we've also spent many years finding the best people to operate our system. And we have by far the best plumbers in town. I will put my guys up against any companies, anywhere, anytime, any place. And that's just evidence in the type of quality work that we put out. Go online and look at our reviews on Google, look at our reviews on Angie's List. No one else is as highly rated as us unless they're putting bogus reviews up. But our company takes a lot of pride in what we do on a daily basis, and we hope that you give us a chance. Again, I'm Ryan with TampaBay Plumbers. Thanks a lot for visiting our site.
You have been listening to the Business Happy Hour with Frank Coto, Ryan Pelky, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
All right, thanks, and welcome back. Hopefully you're listening to us on Facebook right now, streaming live. It's about 1:15 on Friday afternoon, or you're listening to us in the morning here at probably about 5:45 right now. Everyone's kind of hungover, day after Gasparilla. But I want to encourage you to stream us live on Fridays. Listen to us on YouTube, and you can always catch our replays on YouTube. Subscribe to us, and you can catch all of our great shows. This is the last segment of the day. I'm going to get back into this FBI situation because I find it incredibly fascinating. I really don't believe that everything that we're seeing on Fox News is 100% true. Obviously, I think a lot of it's exaggerated. Hopefully, we find out the truth here sooner than later. You got Trey Gowdy that is calling what he sees, all the evidence that he sees so far is definitely extreme bias at a minimum against Trump, the candidate, and then as the president. So, I don't think the Republicans, and I've said this before, I don't think Republicans or Democrats like him at all. No. So I think whatever they can do to get him out of office is what they're doing. Well, yeah, the establishment, either on both sides, like you said, they can't stand him. I mean, he definitely threatens their entire well-being. You know, we talked about earlier. I mean, and I read a report a while ago that said most people that go into office, their net worths go from $100,000 till they'll be in office for 15, 20 years now they're worth millions. So they make a couple, $100 grand a year. We'll talk about Nancy Pelosi. She makes $193,000 a year. Her net worth is almost $200 million. How is that even possible? She's been in office for 30 years. Well, they got that vineyard in California that loses money every year, right? I mean, that has to be a great source of her net worth. What Definitely else? Not. I don't know what she owns, but I know her husband owns that investment bank in San Francisco. I mean, I don't know how much money that thing makes. Gary, see if you can find anything on that. Pelosi's her husband has an investment bank. Her husband's name is Paul or something. Yeah, and I don't know what the name of it is, but I'm sure you can find it in a second. But yeah, that has to be their biggest source of their $200 million net worth. That's a chunk. That's a chunk of money. Yeah, that's like Jay-Z. Jay-Z's more of a billionaire, but still. Well, I mean, is Jay-Z a billionaire? I think he'll be, between him and his wife, yeah, they're probably pretty close to a little over $1 billion. What is it? His wife Beyonce? Is that what she? Yeah. So he might be worth like $600 million. She's probably worth $500 million. So between the two of them, they're about $1 billion. So Nancy Pelosi, non-skilled Nancy. She's rocking a net worth of what I saw the range today was a minimum of $42 million. A maximum of $200 million. 202, something like that. But I don't think she's the only person that's in that. Maxine Waters. I mean, a lot of them are like that. Can you imagine it? Like, how can Maxine Waters, the lady can barely form a coherent thought. And you can't even understand half the things that come out of her mouth. She's worth like $15 million, something crazy like that. Her house is like $4 million. $193,000 a year. It's laughable.
And living in D.C., that is chump change.
It is. It is.
Like I couldn't live. Like I had to move out of that area because I couldn't. Unless you make, I would think a minimum about $250,000 to $300,000 a year to live in Montgomery County or the D.C. area. You have to make a minimum of that just to live comfortably.
I mean, bottom line is, if you're a successful businessman, and even if you don't have to be big time, but just a successful businessman, businesswoman, you're going to take a huge pay cut to go be a congressman or a senator.
Correct.
Why would you want to do that for your entire career after you've already made triple, quadruple
connections?
Yeah, I mean, come on. And is it really that obvious? Is the corruption that deep, that obvious? That
oh yeah.
Why isn't anything ever done about it then?
I don't know.
Is term limits the solution?
I mean, I think that will help. But yeah, I mean, there's talks back and forth on what to do, but
it goes back to
it's never going to change.
Yeah,
because the people making decisions are the ones that are getting all the benefits.
Right. So the folks that are getting the benefits have to basically
go against themselves.
Yeah, rewrite the legislation to basically say, rewrite the laws to say, hey, we're going to have term limits.
I'm going to term myself.
Yeah, I'm going to limit myself to a few years of this underpayment.
An abundance of wealth.
Yeah, I gotcha. So the same thing applies to the shutdown, right? Where, we have our fighters, our folks. What about our fighters overseas? Do they stop getting paid?
Well, I don't think they stop getting paid, but their paychecks are not delayed. I think everyone's furloughed. If you're a government employee, you're furloughed.
Yeah, but you're not essential. If you're non-essential, aren't you furloughed? So, but if you're overseas, I would assume that you're considered essential.
That I don't know.
So do they pay them or not?
I don't know. But regardless, anyone that's serving in the military, whether you're non-essential or essential, you
should get paid.
You should get paid. I mean, you have congressmen, people in the Senate getting paid. Why are they getting paid?
That's the thing. I don't think they should get paid a cent until that shutdown is over. I mean, if the government shut down, you're the cause of the shutdown. Why should you get paid for it? That's insane to me.
It's really insane.
It just is. We've got some serious things that need to be changed in our system's so damn broke. It's unbelievable. My God. But yeah, that's definitely a couple of them right there. I mean, if we shut down our government, don't pay the people responsible for it, and then not pay the people that are defending our country.
Look, our government's broken.
Yeah,
I've said it before, but it's just.
I'll tell you what. I mean, as broken and as bad as things are, I really do feel like, I'm looking at the screen up here right now. As Trump's saying America's open for business in Davos. We are open for business. I mean, I cannot hire enough guys. I can't really. My biggest problem is I can't grow fast enough to keep up with this economy.
And I personally can't grow beyond where I'm at right now because of the way things are.
Because you can't find workers?
No, I can't find workers to save my life. And we've talked about it before, and it's it's unfortunate, but the level of work that we do, I can't just hire anyone off the street.
I got a nail gun. I got a shingling.
I'd love to see you.
And a hatchet. And I got a hatchet.
I'd love to see
knife,
it. My guys are doing. We're doing Olive Garden on Citrus Park at night tonight. Come help us.
Are you? I was just there last night to go, man. It was awesome.
Are you guys hot mopping that or?
Oh no, we don't hot mop anymore.
That's a flat roof, isn't it?
No, we're doing the tile.
Oh, it's tile.
Oh, really? See, I don't know how to tile.
Well, now you can.
I thought it had a parapet.
3-tap shingle.
It does.
It has a parapet.
Yeah, I mean, it's Olive Garden on Citrus Park.
Why would they have a parapet and then have?
Because there's a flat roof that has all their ACs and all their everything on the flat, and then the rest of the roof is all tile.
Okay.
So you torch that down?
Nope, it's all peel and sticks.
So how many squares is that? How many squares is a roof like that?
8,000. I mean, the roof is 80 squares.
80 squares, yeah.
8,000.
You gotta have some skill for tile saw to cut them tiles to get them to fit right, man.
It's a diamond saw or diamond blade, right?
Blades,
wet
yeah.
blade, wet saw.
No, it's a diamond blade.
So all that stuff's going up in their lungs.
Yep.
Oh my God.
We make them wear masks.
Oh my God. All right, guys. We unfortunately only have about 10 seconds left, so we're gonna have to wrap this episode up of the Business Happy Hour. It's been fun without Frank today. Frank, I hope you kill a deer. Doug, have a great weekend.
You too, man.
Gary, see you, brother. Peace.